Have you ever felt so paralyzed that you could not move? It was February 5th, 2011, a cold winter morning. I woke up and I literally could not move. I went to bed with no symptoms, and overnight some invisible force came into my room, pinched the nerves on either side of my neck, and I had no feeling or movement in my arms or in my hands. You see, our minds are so powerful that fear, anxiety, and overwhelm can literally stop us from living our life. You see, it was the conditions of my life back then. The divorce, the death of both of my parents within 2 months of each other, and the daily demands of life and business literally left me paralyzed for 18 months. Yeah. So, whew, haven't got that choked up in a while. The weekend that I had the funeral service for my mom was the same weekend that I moved out of the family home with my 2 teenage daughters to a new city, and I had just started my brand new coaching business. And I'm thinking, I don't know what to do. It was that moment that I hit my proverbial rock bottom. But I didn't stay there. I went from that feeling of my life is over to building a multiple 6-figure business in 18 months. And ladies, I'm telling you, there were a lot of highs and a lot of lows. A couple of the highs were that I was able to write 2 books. One is called Profit Domination, How Successful Women Get on Top and Stay There. And the other one is called Paralyzed, Getting Past the Excuses of Why You Aren't Successful. And in that one, I share my story and my journey. And if you're interested, I have books at my booth. And let's talk about the lows. I experienced what I call a deep spiritual breakdown. Now, back then, for me, to say that now is a little bit weird for me because I was so black and white. I didn't have a spiritual bone in my body. It was like that woo-woo stuff was foo-foo. Just like I didn't believe it. So in my spiritual rebirth, the problem was I didn't know who I was at my core. And when I got sort of centered in my spirituality, I realized what my inner sense of meaning and purpose really is and what my mission here on earth is. But most importantly, I discovered what it truly means to have self-love. And so much so that I never wanted to forget it. You ever have those moments where you go, I just can't wait until I get as far away from that experience as possible? So I wanted to remember it, though. I wanted to remember my rebirth. So I got a tattoo. And the tattoo is self-love, and I put it right underneath my heart so that I'd never forget it. Oh, music, interlude. And the funny thing when you get a tattoo, if anyone has one, I wanted to be able to read it every day, to read self-love. It doesn't work when you look in the mirror. So note to self, get a tattoo that you can read. So I may have to redo that. Now I help entrepreneurs magnify their message by helping them write their signature talk using the power of their soul story. So if you're stuck right now, I can help you. There are 3 magic bullets to go from stuck to successful. Number 1, you need to know what your soul story is. Number 2, you need to know the source of your passion, which is your why. And number 3, you need to have a strategy to be able to take both of those and share them with the world. Now, when I was lying there thinking that my life was over, I had every reason to give up. And there were so many moments that I truly, deeply wanted to. And it took a while, right, to go from that place of my life is over. But once the shock wore off, I realized that I may have lost the use of part of my body. I have not lost my desire to create impact in this world. So I started to do all the research and gather the information and do things by trial and error so that I could figure out the life that I wanted to live. And I created the transformational steps that got me from paralysis to standing here today. So what is the definition of soul story? Well, your soul story is the very center of who you are. It's your inner sense of meaning and purpose. Now, our lives are made up of a gazillion life experiences that I call your soul story moments. Now, when you follow your soul story, you're following your inner sense. Your life fills with meaning and purpose. When you share your soul story with someone else, their life fills with meaning and purpose, and so on and so on. And that is the true ripple effect of impact. The most powerful stories come from the heart and soul. And it's a combination of authenticity and vulnerability that connect, engage, and empower you to your audience. When people know you and like you, they just want to hang out with you or do business with you. Now, when I started to share my story, it was a very vulnerable time for me to do that because I grew up in a household where you did not show vulnerability or weakness. It was not safe. But the more I shared, the more I realized the impact that I had on people's lives, the more my business grew, my life expanded, and I just felt more joy, gratitude, and love. But it's not just about your story. It's also about the source of your passion or your why. Your why is generated from your challenges that fuel your desire to keep going when fear, anxiety get in the way, or life just beats you down. And it's a combination of your story and your passion and your why that you become an unbeatable force. Then you need to rise above the noise of everybody else vying for attention, and this is where strategy comes into place. So when I was going through my spiritual stuff, I was literally, and it's still weird for me to say this, I was doing my meditation and kind of getting grounded, and I was new to it all, and then all of a sudden I got this channeling or this download. And the download said that my mission is to eliminate fear from 1 million women across the globe by 2020 so they can live their life with power and purpose and without apology. And I'm like, who the hell said that? And I'm like, I'm a little freaked out because this is new to me. And then I realized, you know what, to have that kind of impact in this world, I gotta have one hell of a strategy. So I realized that the fastest way to amplify your message was from the stage, and it's the best way to achieve your mission. And I tried a lot of different things before I realized the power of speaking. And it was an impromptu 2-minute speaking event that I did at a networking event that I just happened to go to by accident. And the organizer said, hey, Odette, no one knows you. We'd love to get to know you. You've got 2 minutes. Would you like to jump up in front of the room? And my higher self was like, yeah, opportunity. And my lower self and scared self was like, shit, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm just talking about myself. So I grabbed a cocktail napkin, started furiously writing, and you can't write on a cocktail napkin. So I said, forget that. And I thought, how hard can this be? So I just jumped up, did what I had to do. It was at a noisy bar. Actually, you guys are from Toronto, so it was at the Milestones at Yorkdale. Networking event is not a great place at a bar. So I did my thing, and I walked away with $40,000 in business. And I met a lady who was doing another event in Toronto, asked me to be a keynote speaker, and I made over $100,000 at that event. And I'm like, holy smokes, I'm onto something here. New entrepreneur, just sharing my story for a couple of minutes. How hard can it be? So I created a system to generate those results over and over again for myself. And then I started to teach other people how to do the same thing. And one of my programs, Speak from Your Soul and Sell in 6 minutes or less, was born. Now I share this with you to inspire you and motivate you to get off your butt and make your dreams happen. And I want to make it so easy for you because it was so hard for me. Right? And it's my mission. It's not my fault. It's the mission that I've been given to end paralysis of fear, anxiety, and limiting belief. So start now. Live the life that you really want to live. Don't wait for a crisis like I did to make a change in your life. Start now. Take the time. Figure out what is your soul story. Then share it with the world. It's your superpower and your super connector, and it's the keys to your success. So now I'm going to take each and every one of you on your own soul story journey. So we're going to do a guided visualization. I'm going to walk you through a process. But for now, what I want you to do is uncross your legs, just get comfortable, put everything on the floor, palms open. I'm so good at this now. All right. So I just want to take a deep breath in and out. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And if you're not an eye closer, just gaze down at the ground. Don't be looking at me. Take another deep breath in and out. One more time. And out. Now I want you to imagine yourself living the life that you really want to live. So we're going to paint that picture of that life. So let's start off with, where are you? Where are you living? Are you here in the home that you're living in right now, or are you living by the ocean, in the mountains, in another city? Who's with you? The people that are in your life today, are they with you? Or some of those people not with you? Are you with maybe children or grandchildren, spouse, friend? How old are you? So what are you doing? Are you working on a business that you've always wanted to start? Are you in the profession that you love? Are you retired? What's that thing that excites you every morning when you wake up? Why are you doing it? What's the why behind it? What pain or challenge are you trying to solve, or would you like to solve in the world? Or maybe it's just your own world, just the community that you live in. Finally, how do you feel? Are you feeling excitement, enthusiasm, joy, gratitude, love? I want you to breathe that feeling and that image that you have. Just breathe it in and burn that image in your mind, in your body, as the life that you really want to be living. Just take a deep breath in and out, and slowly open your eyes. Another deep breath in. Awesome. Now we're going to do part 2 of the exercise. This is where it gets a little mayhemy. So, before you move, I'm going to ask you that you find a partner. Try to find someone that you don't know. And you're each going to have 30 seconds. So you have person A and person B. Each have 30 seconds to share what you just envisioned. So when you pair up, if you can, find someone you don't know. See, Mary, I'm starting. Just hang on a second. I'm not done. Where are the teachers in the room? I don't know how to do this very well. Okay, raise your hand. Okay, so figure out who goes first. You have 30 seconds, and then you're going to switch. I will yell switch, just to remind you. And then at the end of the minute, I am going to yell stop. And then I want all eyes back on me for part 3. Okay? Awesome. Rock it out. Oh, we got some action. Awesome. Well, that's not what I meant. Okay, so how'd that feel? Awesome. So now I'm going to take a couple of shares from the room, and basically just stand up and tell us briefly how that experience was for you. So we already have a lady for the first one. Okay, she didn't have a partner, so she was allowed to stand up. Okay, and state your name, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz. I didn't have a vision. I was sitting there the whole time and had fleeting images, but more than anything, just a good feeling. And I was sharing with Odette that I lost my job 3 weeks ago. So disillusioned with the corporate world, and this event was so timely today, and just timely in my life. And so, so I know that whatever my vision is, it's going to be a good one because I had a good feeling.
Awesome, thank you. Who else would like to share? Awesome, stand up, state your name.
Hello everyone, my name is Gerda Felix. My dream is to open healing centers where I can have people come in and get re-energized through seminars and knowing who they are. That's always been my dream, so I visualized the house where that's going to take place. It's near the water, and I'm wearing red as I say, welcome.
Awesome. Cool. Anyone else would like to share? Awesome, stand up.
Okay, so my name is Sandra Price, and in July of 17, my life changed. I was diagnosed with cancer. I was a person who was much younger than other people who were diagnosed with breast cancer. So my vision, and my doctor I think has been pushing me in this direction, is to just talk about my experience to people. And I'm so inspired by you, Odette, because you're talking about your experience, and you've helped me. And my vision was just helping others, not even particularly my age, just anybody going through cancer, and kind of, as my friend Dee would say, going with my head held high and just speaking of my experience, and whatever people take from that, that's my vision.
Thank you. Awesome. One more? Yes.
My name is Barbara Kina. My vision is I see myself on a stage in front of hundreds of women. I've seen this for years. 6 years ago, I was thrown into a nervous breakdown after losing 4 family members within a very short period of time. And that was my spiritual awakening. I exploded into a new life, and I am taking steps towards this. I've just created a new event. I'm working on my second one right now called Create Your Exceptional Life. And I really am trying to encourage women to step out of the shadows, the fears, the angers, the resentments into their exceptional life. So I'm bringing speakers together now as I really work hard to get in front of those thousands of women.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. So I have a gift for everybody here for taking part in that. So a few years ago, I wrote a guide called How Big Is Your Butt? Learn the 7... How big is your butt? That's a good one, yeah. Learn the 7 ways you sabotage your own success. And I talk about how we compare ourselves to other people and find ourselves lacking, how we think we're not good enough, we think we lack the skills, all of that. So it's a PDF and a audio download, and if you're interested in that, I just need your contact information, and I have my booth in the corner back there, and I also have my books that are available for sale if you want to grab yourself a copy. So, thank you. So I want to leave you with one last thought. There was a time that I thought my life was over, but then I realized it was just the beginning. That vision that you have burned in your memory, in your body, is your soul story, and it's the life that you want to live. So go and live it. And if you're stuck, I can help you. Thank you.